pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. King.
Present.
Ms. Loper.
Present.
Mr. Baxter.
Present.
Ms. Sims. Myself present. Mr. Wilson. Present. Ms. Armstrong.
Present.
All present.
Okay. Board members, I need to amend the agenda for a couple items that we did not put on the agenda. The first one would be the hiring of the attorney that we interviewed on last week. We need to add that to the agenda. And also, we need to amend the agenda to add, this yo amount. The amount should be $45,100 instead of the 36 and then the 9. That should be just one bill. So we need to amend the agenda to make that just one bill. We can come out with $45,100. That's just one bill after I spoke to the finance director. And he said it was split up and he's not sure why, but anyway, amend the agenda for that to be just one bill.
Can you repeat that price? That cost?
45, it should be 45,100 combined, it should be $45,100.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Okay. So we need a motion.
So moved.
Support.
Okay. Now we're
I would,
down.
oh, I'd like to add something.
Okay.
Just, I need the board to approve,
So, I mean,
to amend, but to approve this thing for an address of 2132 O'Brien. And I'll explain to it when it comes to
okay, well, we got to go with amending the agenda to add.
add this address to discuss this address. There's a water problem there.
Okay,
What was the address again? I'm sorry.
2132 O'Brien.
Thank you.
Oh, it's okay.
Is it the flooding?
Yeah.
it's a water issue.
Yes.
Okay, so, can you amend that?
Amended.
Yes,
Plus
amended.
approved it.
Second.
Agenda.
Okay, we're gonna go down to the approving agenda.
You need to have them vote on
Well,
it.
that's right,
Vote
vote,
on it.
yes, I'm sorry.
Ms. King.
Yes.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
Ms. Sims.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Can I say
Yes, sir.
something? Board members, please, if you're talking, put your mic down. I get like 10 texts through the evening that we're not talking into the mics and they can't hear us on the YouTube. So please, just a reminder.
Thank you.
Well, we were just trying to figure out if something is going on.
Yeah, I don't think they're on.
Yeah.
Sounds like there are.
Okay, yours on? Okay.
It sounds like it.
Mine is.
Can you all hear us back there? See, they really can't. They were saying they couldn't hear us.
Right.
We
Okay,
just have to speak up.
speak up a little louder and then we'll look into it, before the next meeting. Approve agenda for board meeting March the 11th, 2024.
We amended and approved that one.
Oh, we've already done them all?
Mhm.
We
We
amended
we
it.
approved that
We
one.
We
amended
we amended it.
Approve minutes for board meeting February the 12th, 2024.
So moved.
Support.
Questions? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
Ms. Sims.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong.
Yes.
Ms. King.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, approving payments for the bills from February the 6th, 2024 through March the 5th, 2024 in the amount of $6,795,178.69.
Support.
Questions? Hearing none, we call for the vote.
Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
Ms. Sims.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong.
Yes.
Ms. King.
Yes.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, we have public comments on the agenda items only. The items that's on the agenda, public comment on the agenda items only. Any public comments on the agenda items? Okay. We move on. Unfinished business, we have none. Okay, new business. Resolution 2024-04, financial year, fiscal year 2024-2025, General Appropriation Act, Budget 2024 through 2025. Would that be you, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
The resolution, well, first of all, good evening Supervisor Sims, Township Board members and residents. This agenda item corresponds with the adoption of the fiscal year 24-25 budget. On our previous meeting was the public meeting that was held on February 12th that actually provided the information to the public corresponding with the compliances of the state of treasury and the governmental finances procedures. And so the budget is ready for your adoption at this point. It does have estimated revenues of $20,127,390 that are made up of the 14 mills that the township is authorized by law to levy. Those mills are in the form of the general township levy of 4 mills, 4.5 mills, the police of 6, and the fire just about 3. They're rounded. The estimate of the corresponding expenditures that go along with that is $18,944,083 that provides for a proposed fund balance across all funds of $1,183,307. There again, it is ready for your adoption upon your vote tonight.
board members, what's your pleasure? Support. Questions to the finance director on budget? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Ms. Sims.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong.
Yes.
Ms. King.
Yes.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, board.
Board members, we're down to the March 31st, 2024 financial year end audit proposal with Yo and Yo in the amount of $45,100. What's your pleasure?
So move.
Support.
Question?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am?
we cannot sign off on this engagement letter. I mean, it says one thing and we're voting on another. We'll have to have another engagement letter to sign off on.
So,
If I may, that engagement letter that was in your board packet does actually amount to the $45,100. This agenda was split up. I mean, the engagement letter was split into separate agenda items, but the motion that amended the budget, I believe, conforms with what the engagement letter actually says there to the amount of $45,100. So I don't.
If we make a motion that the audit services will be 45, that's not what this engagement letter says. I was in public accounting 25 years. They have to agree.
I think I understand what you're saying, Treasurer, but I think I would respectfully offer this. The discussion with Yo and Yo that actually resulted in this engagement letter was a result of all of the narrative that went on with the fiscal year 22-23 budget and the manner in which Yo and Yo provided billing. This engagement is an all-inclusive engagement that will produce a financial report along with the subsequent schedules that are required at the State Department of Treasury. I don't know where the letter could be different in its scope. Mr. Roca did carefully craft that letter to capture everything. So I'm not quite sure what is not considered a part of the audit engagement that is in this letter that I could clarify for you.
I don't have a problem with combining them if that's necessary to get the job done. But it states our fee for audit services will be $36,100. Then they're saying our fee for other things will be $9. And we're voting to say the audit fee is 45. It doesn't, it's not the same.
I think if I could offer then the suggestion to amend the motion to say the audit engagement, there with the audit engagement is all inclusive of both the financial report that you state the audit work and the schedule that produces your audit every year anyway, there. So I don't know, I would suggest that as a friendly,
Well, the board can
I
make the
just-
motion to choose this, I
absolutely,
understand.
absolutely.
But I'm just saying, I would think, and I will check with Mr. Rocco, that we would have to have another engagement to sign stating that the amount of the audit services would be the full amount, not just 36,000.
So we
I
can
have a
actually
question.
redo
Why
the-
can't we
we
just,
can just
It
redo
says,
the
if you read it, it
It's got it
says
broke down.
it has broke down. Our fee for audit services will be 36,100, and then it says our fee for assistance calculation, and it goes on. It says will be estimated 9,000.
Okay,
So
that's-
why don't we just
Make the motion
separate them the way we
stating-
had them originally,
That's the way-
and then that'll satisfy you.
That was the original way I
Okay,
received
so-
it. It was like
So
it's presented. It wasn't nothing by it, but it
that's what
specifically
it
said
says.
Yes.
So
36-1
that's the way
for this.
That's the way it's the same
Yeah,
amount.
same
They
amount.
just
Same amount,
separated.
just broke
Was
up.
there a specific reason why we decided to combine it?
It was actually my request, Ms. Loper, because
Okay.
of, again, there was such narrative on last year's engagement. We were getting bills after bills. It was seeming to become a concern of the body and the public, the way that Yo and Yo was billing. So I thought it being more streamlined to have them include all of the activities for this engagement in one letter. We will know what this audit should cost us for this. It's a target, it's a goal that I and Mr. Roker has agreed we will not exceed or hopefully not even get near there.
I
And
saw
so
that.
that's why it was put in this one letter
Well, with
there.
this in writing, we should be able to hold them to this. So
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, if not only them,
It's not
hold
an
me.
Increase in anything. It's just, there's no increase in the amount. It's just broke down a
So
little
it's clear,
differently.
crystal clear.
Okay,
So let's just read-
Whoever made the motion can read.
do it and-
just redo it.
So that it's separate, so that we're saying that we're gonna be paying to Yo and Yo a fee of 36,100 and estimated for Gatsby of $9,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a
It's not an
total-
increase in
gotta go back.
anything.
For a
It's just
total of
separated.
45,100.
Okay.
Who made the motion?
Mrs. Rose.
So you're amending your motion to say
Yeah.
that? Okay. And who supported it?
I did.
Okay. You support that amendment?
Yes.
Okay. Now discussion.
I think it was me and you, Dora. How I got down, but
It doesn't.
because it was when Elmer added it again to that amendment, to that last third piece to it, I made the motion that we amend and approve at the same time. So I would just make amendment to the original motion to leave it the way it was as presented, agenda.
Okay, on the
Okay.
agenda. Okay.
So the agenda's not amended. It's
No.
gonna be
Not
back.
for
For
that
that part.
amount.
It's
For
amended
For
and
that
then
part.
back. I
Right.
got you. Okay, thank you.
And I appreciate that. Even the suggestion to amend the amendment actually was from my concern that I wanted the board members, as I emailed you about this particular matter and the public to know that it wasn't a request for any special support from the fashion that we received in the past two audits from Riemann or anything like that there. So was the reason for that. This is an all-inclusive engagement that will begin June 12th. There, upon your approval of this letter, we'll get everything in advance, and the departments that are involved with it can get to work, and we can hopefully have a streamline on it.
That's good.
So we have on this amendment of the agenda, we need to go back and revote.
I'm sorry.
What I just amended, we have to go back and read.
Yes.
Okay.
So any more discussion?
Hearing any more discussions, call for the vote.
Myself, yes. Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong,
yes,
Ms. King,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Ms. Sims.
Yes,
7-0. Go back.
so now we can go back and,
Mhm.
yes. So board members, March 31st, 2024 financial year end, audit proposal with Yo and Yo in the amount $36,100.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Questions? Hearing none, we call for the vote.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong,
yes,
Ms. King,
Yes.
Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Ms. Sims.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Motion carried.
Okay,
7-0.
board members, request for finance director, well, it says finance director, but for Yo and Yo to have well, I'm not sure how you'd even write that because he's not asking for assistant.
It's clearly specific what they want with this
Yes, for
one.
Gatsby, it doesn't have anything to do with assistance.
System, right, he says,
Right.
yes, implementation for Gatsby for the 9,000. Okay,
Estimated.
Gatsby 96 is what, okay.
It's
the,
9,000.
Estimate for the $9,000, okay.
Motion to approve.
Support.
So,
Any
I want to make
questions?
sure I got the motion wrote down right. Is it gonna go as presented or somebody else gonna reword it?
No, the attorney.
I think a good wording.
Letter.
In the letter.
And the letter is presented as for Gatsby, not as assistance, and that's what he read.
We need to verbally say it.
Implementation of GASB 96 is estimated to be $9,000.
Right, right.
Right. And that's what I made the motion for.
And I supported it.
Implementation of GASB 96.
Okay.
There's other schedules that correspond with that outside of the Gatsby 96, though. I did want to clarify that. If you look at that engagement letter, he mentions 4 things in there. The F-65, which is the Department of Treasury. So if the motion could just say the implementation of the subsequent schedules, instead of just the Gatsby there, that would be all inclusive if I can make that suggestion.
Would that change that amount?
No, it will not. It would just the implementation of the subsequent schedule, or you can list all of those, implementation of all of them. There, one of them is a new pronouncement for this particular fiscal year. The lease schedule, which is the last of the audit of the Gatsby schedules that he mentioned.
It's on page 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Right.
We need a motion.
We already motioned.
We already motion. Okay, let's call for the vote if we have no more questions.
Ms. Armstrong,
Yes.
Ms. King,
yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Ms. Factor.
Yes.
Ms. Sims.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Okay, board members, we're down to the Genesee County Road Commission quote in the amount of $60,000 for the pavement of Katy Drive. I brought this to you all before with 3 streets. Now I'm bringing it back to you all to do just Katy Drive. Katy Drive is a real horrible street, and it's the entrance way to the high school. And board members, I asked some of you all to ride the street. We received, we had, how much we had left?
So there's 167,000 and the opera projects, which is where this body budgeted initially $1,282,774 for road improvements. The road projects that were done, which was 19 of them, came back in as a final tally of $1,115,471. That leave out of that budgeted line item, $167,303 for the motion that you all approved back in January for general government operations, which is why we received this opera dollars in the first place. That was the qualification that we got those under. So the number is $167,303 for just the road improvements. I do want to disclose to the body that that transfer of opera dollars have not occurred yet. Treasurer and I had the conversation along with Yo, that we're still working on rectifying unreconciled balances in our cash module in BSNA. I have convinced myself that we will make this transfer at the end of this fiscal year, because as the chart that I provided to you all indicates, there's still dollars available for the code enforcement. So at year end, essentially $250,000 will be available to be transferred to the general fund, but I wanted to get to the year end so that we know exactly what that number is. That includes, yes, ma'am, that includes the $8,000. I did talk with the road commission today to confirm these actual numbers as to what Mrs. Khan, the finance director, told us we have no more outstanding bills with them. So this is the number that they provided me there. The number gets larger because with the board approved a budget for the cloud upgrade for BSNA. That is a multi-year project. So those dollars have not been expended as of yet as well. So there's a large portion of that $80,000 still available in opera, which is another reason why I would like to wait until March 31 to make this transfer of dollars from the opera to the general to make sure that we're doing it all inclusively there. To the road project though, as we begin, there is $167,300 in budgeted road projects that was available and was voted by this body to be transferred to the general fund for general government operations.
So the road would be considered general operations.
That would be considered a general government
So
operation.
board members, we're only asking 60,000, and that could be actually at the high end when it comes to the road commission, because it might be cheaper to do Katy Drive from Detroit Street to that fence that I think I spoke about. I bought you 3 roads, but I took away the other 2 because Katy Drive is really bad. And you were talking about residents, we're talking about parents taking their kids to school, board members, this road must get done. So I'm making a motion that this body do Katy Drive out of that $167,000 that we have, and that's still gonna leave $107,000 to be put into general fund.
Support.
Questions?
I have just a comment. I actually drove this street this morning about 9 o'clock. It is rough, especially closer to Detroit Street. But I also drove the other day pure north off of Pearson Road where all them businesses are at. And there's a lot of vacant buildings up there that people are wanting to put businesses in. But the road is so bad that you have to have a pickup truck, 4-wheel drive to get down through, and it's blacktop. But they probably half the buildings that could be rented for businesses, the road is terrible. I mean, 100% terrible.
We had, didn't we get a price on that one too? On Pure
Well,
North?
what it
No?
is that, when I went to Lansing to meet with the senator, and when I went with the state rep, we gave them roads that was, needed to be done in the township. And I think it was 9 of them that we gave them, and Pure North is on that road for when, it's on that list for when the money come back with Jasper coming to see me in November. He said that we were going to get it, but we probably won't get it until 2025. So, but you know, that's their time.
Yeah, this is the road where Cracker Barrel is
Cracker
actually
Barrel,
on. You
so
drive
you
back
gotta-
in there off
yeah.
Pearson Road to Cracker
It's
Barrel.
horrible.
It's terrible.
It
There's
is.
major holes.
It is.
It is, but this school is, it's, this
Right.
road is as well. So hopefully, eventually, we will be able to get the other 9 done within 2025.
I would like to see Pure North done
yeah.
also because I travel it a lot.
Me
But
too.
Yeah.
Me
but-
too.
But I feel for the parents who are dropping off kids
Oh, yeah.
and the kids on the buses and all of that going down the to get
It's
into
really
the
bad.
school. It is bad.
And
My
our
only
kids
question,
do-
does this road qualify for the 50/50?
No,
Katy Drive does not.
no, it
Does
does not. We
not?
looked into all of that.
Okay.
It does not.
Yeah, I have one question. Have we talked to the school? Because I went up through Neff Road and went into the school parking lot or property, then come out on Katy Drive. The school road is
Yes.
just as bad as Katy Drive. Is the school gonna do something with their side, or are we just gonna do our side?
No, we're gonna do our part, and they're gonna look into doing theirs.
They're gonna look into it, so it might
And I'm
not.
pretty sure, no, don't say they may not, because we don't know, we don't wanna assume what they're
Right.
thinking. So, but let's just do our part as this board,
Mhm.
and then let them do the rest of theirs. So even if they don't do theirs, but guess what, we done done ours. Our part for the residents and the community, because they're asking.
Can
So,
I,
yeah.
can I ask the treasurer real quick? I know he's the financial director.
Yes.
We've heard him. Do we have the extra money?
Not unless it comes out of here. That's $167,000.
Well, that's what you're talking.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Is that set in blood? I mean, you know that we have that much money?
There's a available balance in the opera account of better than $300,000. So that's where that would be.
But it can't come out of the general, I'm just saying, it can't come out of the general account. have to
Well,
come
it
out of
has
ARPA
to-
or we can't do it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
it'll come out of our.
It is ARPA money.
Yeah, it is
It is
ARPA.
Right.
We voted on
Right.
it.
I just want to make sure because, you know,
Right.
It was money we voted on in the
Yeah, it was.
very beginning
Right.
to do roads.
Okay, any more questions? Yes, Baxter.
This is one that came up before and, when we made the motion back before to transfer some of that money into an account and hold it there, hold it available. The dilemma I have is, I'm just curious if, it was kind of mentioned in a roundabout way, if we fix the roads, and I agree, that road needs to be done. Even where it's smooth, it's all gone, it's deteriorated. I mean, there are little chunks like that. I drive through there once every couple of weeks. I live on Stanley and I cut through there on Carver Road, go up by the high school. But I just want to, the only concern that I would have, if we fix the road, will it jeopardize it by chance of any money we would get from the state, from Jasper or Cherry, the representative or the senator, that, my brain goes, well, in Lansing, they go, well, they keep getting and finding a way to get it done, maybe we won't need to send them the money. That's the only concern that I have.
No, it won't jeopardize that because we're still dealing with our ARPA dollars. And I'm pretty sure they'd rather see us spend all our ARPA dollars up like we're supposed to.
If I may,
So the other, the other issue is, so when do we get it done? The bid's good for the whole year, the $60,000. And so do we wait and see, or do we have it? I personally think that road needs to be done. So the dilemma I have is, do we okay it now, or do we okay it in July? Do we okay it?
Well, if we
So
okay
that's-
it now, the road commission could put it on a calendar to get it done.
But last year, we even approved some roads late in the year, and they still got it done. We approved some in July and August.
Well,
I know that, but and the
probably-
kids go, and I get it, that's the school path. So those are just,
Okay.
those are my
Your
thoughts.
question.
Yeah.
Okay.
if I could help just with that question, Mr. Baxter, when we went to Lansing to speak to Representative Martis and Senator Cherry, and took that list that Senator Cherry requested, which was 13 roads, Supervisor, the request was 1.5 million. And it's my understanding that what has occurred since that meeting is that the appropriation has been requested for that amount, not specifically for specific roads there, although he did use that as a baseline for his requests there. So why that's not approved 100%, I don't believe that it would impede his decision or the legislative body's decision to give us that dollars. What I foresee is that they would allow us to tell them what we're going to do with those dollars within the scope of what we sent them already.
Yeah, because it's just a concern like I have. I mean, it's bigger government and stuff, and at some point, I just don't want it to be where the end that they're going, well, somehow they're finding a way to get it. Maybe they're not in that
Yeah.
need of the road. I get it, we are in need of the road, and that road is bad.
Yeah, they were looking at our opera when we gave them that there as well. So but I certainly understand where you come from there with that, but.
Any more questions? Here none, let's call for the vote.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Ms. Sims,
Yes.
myself, yes, Ms. Wilson,
yes.
Ms. Armstrong,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Okay, we're down to Genesee County Road, dust control program approval for the first and the third application. Board members, you see that in your packet. That's when they come down and they do our dirt roads.
I make a motion to approve, but
I was trying to find them.
I don't want to.
So this is Katy Drive.
It's right on behind the,
It's this here, I think, this
Yeah.
picture.
Right behind the road commission stuff.
mhm.
It's in the, is there an amount there? There isn't an amount there, but it's a 50/50 that we pay every year, and they sent this out. They sent this out to us, and they said we have to approve that. So it's something I'm assuming that we do every year.
Yeah, it is, but
Yeah.
it is 79 cents a gallon,
Yes,
and it's rated at 2,000 gallons per mile.
1,500 gallons a mile. Mhm. And the cost will be 100%. Oh, no, this is the other one.
Well, I hesitate to vote on something when I don't know what it's
Yeah, we
gonna
don't, they
cost.
didn't even
Right.
give us an amount. They just sent this over to us and didn't give us an amount. So let's just
I'd
table
make a
this
motion to table it.
until the next board
Yeah,
meeting.
I-
until we get
Support.
them- Yeah. So we get them out, okay, from the road commission.
So there's been a motion to table. Is there support?
Yes, I
Yes,
said
that's what
support.
it said, yeah. Mhm. Call for the vote.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Ms. Sims,
Yes,
myself, yes, Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Mr. Armstrong,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
motion carried.
we're down to the code enforcers, but I think it's still.
I'm gonna make a motion to table this so we can look into, we just got some information put in front of us when we walked in here, so I like to have time to look at it.
Support.
Questions? Call for the vote.
I have,
Uh-oh.
I have a question. So, well,
Can't ask questions on table.
we're
Yes.
tabling it?
No discussion on
Okay.
table.
I wanted to ask a question.
Sorry.
Okay.
You do need a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Call for the-
Mr. Baxter,
Yes, to
Ms.
table.
Sims,
Yes.
myself, yes, Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Armstrong,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
motion carried 7-0.
Board members, we're down to the new street light installation contract near the 3168 Bertha Drive.
Bertha Avenue.
Bertha Avenue. Residents that live over there has been calling about the darkness of the area. And, so we called consumers and they said for them to put a light there on a pole would only be in the amount of $100. But the reason why I brought it to the board because we need to do, Dwayne and I need to sign off on the resolution that Consumers Energy sent. As a matter of fact, they sent us 2 streets. They sent, also the same thing near the 3238 North Jennings Road. The residents up in there are complaining how dark, and all they're saying is all it would take for us to pay $100 for the pole. They'll do the lighting and the residents will have what they need.
You say $100?
It's in there. It's in there. Look at the consumers.
It's on
I
this
see it.
one.
I see it. I see
Yes,
that.
you have 2. So I'm assuming we need to vote them separate because we have 2 different ones.
We do.
Okay.
Did you make that motion, Mrs. Sims?
No, not yet.
I'll make the motion to approve the lighting at 3168 Woodland Avenue.
Support.
Questions? Hearing none, let's call for the vote.
Ms. Sims,
Yes.
myself, yes, Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
Okay, and also the street lighting at, the 3238 North Jennings Road.
I make a motion to approve that 3238 North Jennings Road for streetlight.
Questions? Call for the vote.
Myself, yes, Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong,
Yes.
Ms. King, Ms.
Yes.
Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Ms. Sims,
Yes.
motion carried 7-0.
Board members request for training for Mr. Woodell in the amount of $130 for training.
So
Motion to
moved.
approve.
Support.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If he had this in his budget, why would we come to the board for $130? It should have just been
Yeah.
approved and,
I just, they just
Okay.
brought it to me. so.
okay, yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Not necessary to move
Yeah.
it forward, though.
So I don't know what is that low amount, okay. Call for the vote.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong,
Yes.
Ms. King, Ms.
Yes.
Loper, Mr.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Ms. Sims,
Yes.
myself, yes, motion carried 7-0.
Joint sewer and water agreement for 1171 West Francis that you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Scott Da Silva has purchased property in that area to establish a grow for marijuana. And because of the fact that Johnson Rentals is a business on the same plot of property, it's directly behind where the grow is going to be. The Genesee County Water and Waste, when they investigated the property, decided that he should have a separate sewer and water line for his grow, because they will use a lot of water. So this joint agreement that the supervisor has to sign off on is merely giving our permission that they put in that sewer and water specifically for this grow. It will be billed through normal sewer and water channels into my department. Mr. Da Silva has been to the planning commission, all fees are paid. Now, he's still working with the state. He has to complete the project by the end of 25. I have a letter from the state that says he's pre-qualified pursuant to the license provisions of MRTMA for the marijuana rules. And it's a pending status, but they have no reason to believe that he won't get the state licensing. So all we need to do is vote to accept this, and I will need Mrs. Sims to sign off on it so we can get this back to Genesee County Water and Waste. And I make a motion to approve.
Support.
Any more questions? Hearing none, we call for the vote.
Ms. Armstrong,
Yes.
Ms. King, Ms.
Yes,
Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Ms. Sims.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Will you take charge of this, Wayne, and make sure it's signed and give it back to him?
Yes, okay, now board members, we are down to the hiring of our new attorney to take Mr. Carey's place. So board members, what's your pleasure? Because I think we came to the consensus that we would stick with, Mr. McComb firm. Is that correct? When we did the interviewing. So board members, what's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion at this time that we go ahead and hire the McComb firm. The chief is happy and content. As I said the other night.
Support.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll support it.
Okay, as I said the other night, we don't know Mr. Ryan well. We know a lot more about Mr. McComb, but it'll give us an opportunity to get to know Mr. Ryan. And I see tonight that if one of you can't be here, the other one will,
Or both.
or both. We'll take you both.
just don't bill us
Be careful
double.
what you wish for.
Right? Yeah, just don't bill us double, right?
But I think the chief and his department will be dealing more with the attorney than anyone else.
Right.
And that's the important thing. We have to keep our police department operating on top of this game. So I think this is the best option at this time.
I agree.
Any more? Okay, let's call for the vote. Let's let the clerk finish signing off.
Okay. Ms. King,
Yes,
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Ms. Sims.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Armstrong.
yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, we are now with the finance report. I know you just.
Nope, got one more.
One more? What's the other one?
Um,
Oh, 2113.
I was called out to 32 O'Brien on some water issue. What it is a vacant house and it's owned by a company that I'm not gonna repeat, I'm not gonna say the name, but it's owned by a company and the house is vacant. And the basement sub pump is running out in the backyard, flooding the neighbor's driveway and causing water damage to the neighbor. I was out there probably about a month ago, but then I was sick for about a week with the cold. And I'm just now getting it to the board. I would like to have the board approved to send this to the attorney, to send this company that's out of state a letter saying that they need to fix this problem. We have an ordinance where it's not supposed to be pumped into the back yard. It's supposed to be pumped out into the front or tied into their sewer. So it's whatever the county drain commission decides to let them do it, but we need to have something done. So I just like to have the attorney send them a letter saying you need to do what you need to do to fix this problem because the neighbor should not be doing it.
I agree.
And that doesn't need a motion.
Okay.
We can certainly take that. We've already made a note of it and we'll make sure after I
Okay.
get the information that we get a letter. out.
Pass that down.
Yeah, Trustee Wilson, if you could just get me the information.
I just handed it down.
Man, okay. so
That was
we'll move on.
informational.
That was just informational, I guess then. My understanding, we've done it before. We had to have the attorney and the board to approve it. So I just, I
You're
went
giving-
through the same motion.
Yep, we can
Okay.
take direction.
Thank you.
Finance Director Holmes, is there anything else from you?
Just very quickly, I am working on a final year-end projection for the 23-24 budget. I've gotten through the general, the fire, police, building funds thus far. It is my hope to have that in your inboxes by the end of this week there so that we can look at that for adoption prior to the year end ending. Have had conversations, the treasurer and I, there are a couple of areas that we are collectively concerned about there. I will put you on notice of those and we'll get you a little more narrative to support that in the days to come there. But did want you to know that we are working on a final projection for the year end. Also, and my final comment is that we did meet again with POLC. There had good discussions with them. That is moving forward in a positive direction, at least from my vantage point there with that. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're down to public comments. Public comments is 3 minutes. Ms. Westbrook?
Yes, my name is Beatrice Westbrook. I live 2218 Base Road. That's my,
Put your mic down. Thank you.
okay. I live 2218 Base Road, Mount Morris Township. And I want the residents to know and everybody to know why we can't pay our police officers. Now, this here are the things that Baxter, Armstrong, Ashley, Larry Green, and Dunkley voted. Armstrong makes $52,305. Miller makes $51,188.80. That's $103,000, $493.08 just from two people. Then we got Marshall and Everett, which is combined 68, but theirs coming from a different fund. Then we go to the clerk. The clerk makes $52,305. And then we got masters that haven't been here 3 years, making $48,797,000. That's $101,102. And then we got Smith making $64,000. And add that up to $178,958. And on top of that, the clerk's office has $13,856,000 in overtime. And then they had $101,011 that we gave them for training, $1,047 for conference work. Then last week, you gave them, the last meeting we had, we gave them $1,500. Add that with the equipment, and it comes up to $4,226, and that's $184,000 coming from the clerk's office. Now, do anybody here get $47,000 and ain't got 3 years? Now, what's going on here, board? What's going on here? Why is this money? Plus they get insurance, vision, workman comps, legal fees, all this stuff. This is why our police officers can't make $20,000 a year. And then we go over here. Now, supervisor salary, they voted that when Larry Green was here. Sims make $56,156. Johnson, $20,498.40. Burns, which is the IT lady, $75,753.60. Now, $152,000, $408. Why can't our police officers get? And let me tell you this. Now, okay, well, I'll come back in next and finish it. This is my $62 I paid for freedom of information.
Thank you. Any more public comments? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Wanda Williams, and I live at 2138 O'Brien Road. And I'm on the 2132 O'Brien Road, the thing that come up. Right? So my attorney, because I went to Torres several times. I've been to Beecher Water. I've called your office. I've talked to everybody that I know to talk to. And at last resort, I just said, I'm going to go to a lawyer because I don't know what else to do. I did everything I can do to my property to keep the water off and to keep it out of my basement. I literally have not dug, but in my cement, I've made an indentation so the water goes down and not into my house. And it's crazy that I've been dealing with this for so long. But Jeff Masters, my attorney, had Jeff Masters to come out. And I would like him to come out or come up and explain for me what because he's been out there and he knows what's going on.
So ma'am, my question to you, did you have it fixed? I mean, is it, what is, you haven't done anything to just more than that trench that you built up?
Oh, no, we've built our property up. We did so much. We've got thousands of dollars into it. And it's to the point where in my garage, the gentleman back there in the back, they can attest to this. They've dug 2.5 inches of ice out of my garage. I take care of a handicapped husband and a handicapped daughter. If I fall, my family is hit. Literally. It's to the point I don't know what else to do. And so that's what made me go to the attorney, because I couldn't get any help from anybody. And it's been going on now for 4 or 5 years. It just keeps getting worse.
Right.
To where the water is coming across my driveway and straight down. The whole driveway is ice. So, yeah. So I did everything I know to do. And so a question to the lawyer would be, what is the time frame in the letter going out to this company? Because they don't care. Something's going to have to be done. I've approached this company. Like I said, I did everything that I literally know to do. I did every step that I've been told that I should do. And somebody said, I go here, they say, go to Beecher Water. No, it's not here. It's not our fault. Go here. Torres says, oh, there's nothing we can do. And I'm frustrated.
Don't we have an ordinance that you can't
Yes.
divert?
Well, because she's went to attorney.
Hold on, can I, hold on just a second here.
Yeah.
This is not the time for back and forth, or discussion amongst the board members. But what I can do is tell you that we'll likely get a letter out this week because we've been getting directive by the board. I would like to speak with you after the meeting if you can stick around so I can find out what attorney you've been speaking with, and then I can coordinate with them as well.
If I could ask something. Could we have this?
At the time of your comments, we get that information, or what I can do is just speak with Mr. Masters
That's fine,
afterwards.
as long as we know what has to be done, then we can remain after the company
Yep.
to get it done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more public comments? Hearing none, we move.
No, we got a couple.
Rashonda Williams, 2279 Toby Beth. Good evening, everybody. I have one question. Things that are printed on your letterhead. Things that are printed on your letterhead. Is that a reflection of the whole board or the person that is sending it out? I would like to just know.
Well, the information that's on our letterhead is the entire board, but not necessarily the person that's sending it out. Because under each one of our, it should at the bottom have like Dwayne Allen or Supervisor Sims or,
Right.
Gail Armstrong towards the bottom.
Okay, I just wanted, so it's not a reflection of everyone, it's just that person who sent it to me.
The board, if we, the department head, send something out, we automatically send it to the whole board, so they're gonna see it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's from the whole board.
Right.
We make sure
Okay.
they see it.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
And Commissioner?
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner, because you walked away.
Martin Kuzma, County Commissioner for this district. Just wanted to update you a little bit on what the county's doing. I was glad to hear, listening to you guys, that you've been talking to Martis and Cherry a lot. They work hard for their community, which I know you're a part of. They're not mine. I live in a different part of the district, but they work hard, and anything I can do in talking with them to help you, I'd be more than willing to do. I have a very positive relationship with them. Down at the county, I encourage you guys to constantly put in for grants, not so much with the county. The ARPA funding is pretty much over with at this point in time as far as anything we have. But I think that our community in Genesee County as a whole, we've come to the conclusion that we don't take a big enough advantage of the grants that are available at the state and more importantly, the federal level. And some of us have taken seminars recently on how to do that. And I know that you've probably received a letter from Senator Peters to do. I don't know if you sent in anything for that, but I encourage you to do that year after year after year. They can't do it every year, but be persistent. That's the name of the game, is just to be persistent. Yeah, and he just recently extended that deadline, so you might have got that note here recently. So I encourage you to do that. What we're doing down at the county, we recently had a change in leadership, which we do every year. Mr. Avery is now the chair, and I was reappointed as the finance chair, but more importantly, I was appointed to the 911 committee. Last year, many communities over the last year was coming to me and explaining that they were having a problem and a slowdown of ambulance and emergency responses. So we were able to finally hire some consultants through U of M and mostly U of M, but Michigan State. And they are sending out surveys and meeting with people. And what I wanted to encourage this board and your police and fire department and your residents, if you have any concerns about the response of the medical response and the 911 response, please contact me because I am in contact with them. If you don't want to talk to them, I can send you out to talk to you, or you can talk to them, or I'll do it for you. But I encourage you to do that. It'll take a year to analyze the situation before they come up with recommendations. On the 911 committee, tomorrow's my first meeting, but last Wednesday, they came to us and wanted to build a new station, new tower, and then increase the surcharge to the maximum that you could on the cell phones. And I encourage my colleagues to table that until we could take a closer look at that. We have found out that they didn't even put in for grants at the state or the federal level, so we're now doing that. And talking along those lines, we are in the process as the county to hire grant writers. And I and others are pushing to have that available to the smaller municipalities such as Mount Morris Township. But a lot of these smaller townships and cities, they don't have the expertise. And at the county, we can hire it, and I want to make that available for the small municipalities. And so that's what I'm working on. And I really would appreciate if the fire or the fire Elmer and the police would contact me if they have any questions about the EMS situation. Thank you.
Any more public comments? Hearing none, we're gonna move forward. Attorney request. Do you have anything?
Nothing, just I appreciate the vote of confidence. We look forward to working with you each month. And again, don't hesitate to contact us if you need us. Thank you.
Okay. Fire Chief Hillerman?
No,
Oh, Jason?
all set, thank you.
Elmer?
Just a couple things. I give everybody, all the board members and the police chief, a policy for the chief's vehicle to look over. I'm going to put it on the agenda for next board meeting. So take time and read it if you can. I emailed it out, but me and Chief Hillerman made a few changes, nothing really major. Just I had a couple of things abbreviated and we spelled it right out. So it was spelled out. Probably about a month ago, I talked about a house that we was having problems on Thornton, and the police chief, I have had the police out there several times. We had a house fire there, 2 different house fires. Somebody was living in the house. After the first fire, we condemned the house, it burned again. Well, then we was having problems with him living in the garage with dogs. Well, we got toned out for a house fire, ended up being the garage, fully involved. There was 3 dogs in there. I got one of the dogs out, which the dog service had to put it to sleep. It was burnt too bad. The other 2 didn't make it, but the garage is gone. So we shouldn't have any more issues with that area. So just bringing the board up to speed on that problem that we was having several times a week. We was getting called out there to it. So other than that, we're having our 10th annual bowling tournament, the 23rd of this month at Colonial Lanes. Is a 9-pin no tap bowling. It provides money for our fire prevention for Station 2. So if anybody wants to come out, help out, or bowl, it's $20 for the whole game, for 3 different games, I guess. And there's prizes to win. And we've got a lot of businesses that helps us out and donate stuff to raffle off to help bring in money. So I appreciate all that from the
What
businesses.
time is it, Elmer?
What's that?
What's the date on that?
The 23rd of March, and it starts at, Melissa? 1 o'clock.
They ask if you're gonna bowl that you come, sorry. They ask if you're gonna bowl to be there at between 12 and 12:30, because there's so many people.
We'll have 200
that come in
people.
at the same time.
Easy. We'll pack the bowling alley. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, great, thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So a couple things. I got a call last week from Congressman Kilde's office. Last year, probably towards the end of the year, I applied for a grant through the community project funding. The gentleman that called me from Congressman Kilde's office did advise that we have been approved for that funding. We're one of 14 police departments that received that funding. Initially, I applied for about $85,000 in funding, but I was told that the final approval that was going to Congress was probably going to be cut. So our full 85,000 is probably not going to be there, but we did get approved for something. So I'm not sure yet how much that will be, but I'll be advised probably sometime this summer that we'll know.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Also, I'd just like to advise you, last week, our officers, our Detective Sergeant Lori Salem and a couple of our officers were involved in a jury trial in circuit court, which was a 2022 case where a young man was shot in the back on Coldwater Road. Due to that shooting, he's now paralyzed from the waist down, and he is wheelchair bound for the rest of his life, unfortunately. The suspect in that case fled to Texas for a while. He was later returned to Flint, where he was taken into custody. After a week-long trial, he was found guilty on all counts of assault with intent to murder, felony firearm, felon in possession of a firearm, and felon in possession of ammo. So last Friday, he was convicted on all counts, and sentencing is coming up in April. So we'll know how long he's going to go away, but it sounds like he'll be gone for quite a long time. So that's good news. But other than that, congratulations, sir. Appreciate you. And that's all I've got.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We're down to board comments. I'm gonna take it first. Mrs. Williams, at the last board meeting, you asked this body a question in reference to, the incident with Mr. Holmes. And so I did my investigation and I did speak with the chief. You did make the report. They looked at the report, but we didn't find anything wrong or any criminal intent or anything. So that's closed and there's nothing this body can do. So I just wanted to answer your question that you asked us at the board meeting. What were we going to do? Okay. Thank you. And the other thing I have is, I just wanted, if you all hadn't seen the paper that, or it's probably, it was in the Detroit paper. It was sent to me by, Mr. Matt Rizek, that Beecher Schools got $2 million to help with the building of the school. And I thought that was really great for this township to see that we're gonna have a new school sitting up there on North Saginaw and Coldwater Road. And the picture I seen is going to be beautiful. I know it's more than that, but, Senator, Peter spearheaded us getting $2 million for that, to help out with that school. And, let me see, what was this one here? Oh, trustees. I thought the email went out. I apologize, but all we need is here up. I would like the trustees to go with Chief Beach after our meeting so he can just snap a picture. What this is gonna do, we have a website. So please, ma'am, please start to look at our new website. And when I went on the website and I was looking at it, I say, all it says is trustees. The residents need to put a name with the face. So I asked Chief Beach if he would take pictures of you guys, and we're gonna put it on our website. So
Mug shots?
Yeah.
Right?
Today, tonight.
That's what I said
You look
today.
good.
We're gonna
Yes,
see
you
this.
do.
Don't admit to anything.
Ah.
No, it's just so that we can,
No.
because we tried to use the pictures upstairs, but they were really glared, they were bad. You could see the background of the bathroom. It was just horrible. So we agreed that he would do that. So please, ma'am, and please, sirs, would you all go and with Beach, and so he can take a picture and we can put it on the website. You guys look good, Dora. Quit playing.
Don't even try it. Don't.
So that's that's all I have. Just for me, thank everybody for coming out. We had a good meeting. Katie Driver, I'm sure you're happy about your roads. It's been a long time coming. Thank you. It's gonna be exciting. So that's all I have. So I'm gonna start with Mr. Baxter, board comment.
Just glad that we got an attorney and that we can continue to move forward. The meeting that we had the other day, it was nice to hear that there was an issue where the police chief had a problem, was able to call the attorney, and the attorney was willing to leave and come immediately and answer the phone immediately, didn't have to leave a message. And I think that's the type of attorneys we need.
Right.
One that, when this township, when an issue comes up, and that they're willing to, I don't know what he might have been doing something, and it was, he deemed that it was necessary to take immediate action and was willing to do so. Luckily, it didn't have to come out, and I mean, it kind of rectified itself, but I'm glad that we now have an attorney that, we can just continue to move forward, and, you know, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Mrs. Armstrong?
I really don't have very much to say. Tax season is over, thankfully.
Right.
Getting a lot of cleanup and filing away. We should receive our payout from the county for anything that they collect about June 1st. And we're getting ready now to, I assume in July, go into this cloud business. So that'll be a whole nother process. So that will be very upending for a while. And then by that time, we'll get back in tax season again. So time rolls on very swiftly, but everything is going well.
Thank you. Mr. Wilson?
Yes, I was contacted by the school and one of the police officers. March 14th at 5 o'clock, McMonagle School on Jennings Road is going to have a food drive starting at 5 o'clock. So if anybody's interested or has family member that needs a box of food that they usually give out, 5 o'clock Thursday on Jennings Road.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Allen.
We made it through early voting in the presidential primary, and I'd like to thank everybody who helped out during that process. We couldn't have did it without them. Also, in the upcoming weeks, we'll be seeing bids for snow removal, lawn cutting, and trash. So that'll be coming. We're doing research on that right now to make sure we get that out. Also, I'd like to welcome Matt and John.
Thank you.
And thanks for everybody for coming out tonight. That's all I have.
Ms. Loper?
I just wanted to acknowledge, at our last board meeting, I was not here. I don't take my duties lightly. I was at a conference, so I just wanted everybody to know why I was not here. I don't miss unless it's an emergency or I have something that I can't get out of. So, and then I also wanted to congratulate the lawyer. I was a part of the initial interviews, and they came in ready to work, ready to get started, ready to make a difference in the township. And that was very impressive. So congratulations. And thank you, board members, for the positive vote in bringing them on board. Also congratulations, because I drive down Katy Road Drive probably twice a day, going to Kroger's. I go that way down that road, and that road is horrible. And I think it says a lot that this board has decided to invest in that road, and for our students, they deserve that. Parents taking their kids back and forth, and you got to duck and dodge and all that good stuff. So kudos to this board for getting that done. And that is all I have. Oh, I just wanted to say, please keep, whether you believe in higher power or whatever, the young lady that, and I was sharing this with the board members, they had it on the news that they had pulled out of the Flint River a couple days ago. She worked at the Burger King right here out in Beecher. And I believe I've seen her at one of the Dollar Generals or Family Dollar. She may have worked there too. Face was very familiar, but I do remember seeing her at Burger King. She left 7 children behind. brutally murdered, left 7 children behind. So every time we think we got something going on bad in our life, there's always somebody that's worse off than us. So we have a lot to be grateful for. So please keep her family lifted up. Those 7 children, please keep them lifted up in prayer and thoughts. That is all I have.
Thank you. I just want to, first of all, I had a question about the senior center, if that emergency got taken care of, that they were talking about, Mr. Masters, did it?
Probably answer that.
Did it? Very good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that got taken care of. I want to say thank you for those that did take care of that, so the water's not going in their basement anymore.
Mr. Masters mentioned yesterday, they also put on if it happens to fail, there's a light that flashes on a noise it makes, so we can know what's going down. So that's something, that's a plus for us.
Right?
And I was over there several times, different times, looking down the hole, and it's done.
Good deal.
Okay, so before you pause with that, there was an extra cost for that. What are we gonna do? Because that was over. So that comes out of, it was in, who approved it? When? None.
In the,
okay.
it was,
None-
it was in the, it was in the
It was
bill.
in the bill. It was, okay, it was put in the bill packet. So because we voted for the 9,000, we didn't have to come back. I mean,
2,100 or something.
oh yeah, 2,100, and it was extra 600. So we didn't need to revote for the 600, the extra money.
It was under the emergency, it was part of the emergency.
Okay, as long as I just wanted to know, because I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know.
there was an extra $630.
It was extra 600, yeah, and I just.
Big sub pump down in this
Yeah.
hole that actually pumped the water out of the hole. That had to be taken out because it was buried so much sludge
Right,
that it took too much room up.
right.
Put the new pumps down in there, this thing had to be hoisted out.
Mhm.
And it took more than just one person. In fact, I seen the pump, I got a picture of it.
Well, that was the only question I just knew
So,
was
yeah,
$600
it had to be
more.
done.
So.
It was my understanding that it was an estimate to begin with, so we knew it may be a little
Right.
below or a little above
But
that. So I just
didn't know
wanted to
we
make
needed
sure it
bring
had been
back.
done, that it had been done, so
Bring it
that
back to the board for that
Basic
600.
flooding should be done.
outstanding.
We're good.
I like that alarm system
Yeah.
piece, because I kind of would like to have that at my house. I'm just saying. Other than that, I would like to say, as far as the sump pumps and neighbors pushing that water into somebody else's property, first of all, you're wrong for doing it. You shouldn't be doing that, but it's happening to me too. So I think it's more prevalent than we think it is, that somebody wants to get rid of their water. I don't think they mean you any harm, but the water, my basement's trying to flood too, and I got a sump pump in there, and it's because of the next door neighbor's sump pump. So I feel for the young lady that was here and all that she's going through when it comes to the water that's going into her basement, because it certainly can happen. I want to congratulate the attorneys and say welcome aboard. I think that the board did a great job, because chief needs to feel comfortable with our attorneys, because that's where most of the work is going to happen. So I do appreciate that, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Yes, so moved.
Thanks for
Second.
coming out, everybody.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.